Alright, we're back. Let's get some background noise going. Yeah, we'll do that. Alright. Speaking of, gotta restart my phone. There we go. And let it go. Alright, so, next thing on the list. Back to Burwich again. Find Ulgrim. And kill two... I don't remember what they're called. Quest monsters. Time to kill them.
That skill's not right. Can't carry anymore. I can't carry anymore.
I am full. I do need to put this on. That on. And then this on. That's good. I do also need to turn in the Slith quest. Decapitator. There we go. Don't touch the chest. Don't touch it. Don't even think about it. Once I hit 36, we'll have to come back here. Ah, don't hit me. Not nice. I do have a drink. This way. Welcome back, Sasaki. Now, to answer your question, my very first, my first class that I chose was a soldier, followed up by Oathkeeper, which creates a warlord. And I ended up only just beating the base game, the non-DLC basically, and then I got bored of it really quick because I was semi-interested in the idea of playing a tank character, because that's generally my main archetype in RPGs. But then I ended up just getting like stonewalled mainly because of the lack of knowledge for most of what happens in the game and how to actually gear a character. So I started playing around with basically every class that I could after that. Every mule that I would make, I would end up playing an entirely different class each time, and I would play them out just to get extra stash space for them. And then once I got, I think, like 2 extra stash slots for each one, I would move on to a new one, and that way I familiarized myself with basically every individual class and a couple of the yeah, and a couple of combination classes. The one that I ended up playing the most in softcore was a occultist nightblade, which is a witch hunter, and I ended up playing it as a bleed pet hybrid with very, very little focus into nightblade because I just thought it didn't actually help anything out. And then after I got a new PC to actually be able to run the game past 30 frames a second, I then started streaming, and now I almost exclusively play hardcore. On one of my characters that I actually beat the game with, that was a mule, happened to be a occultist necromancer that I focused on summons. And to an extent, I would say that pet characters are kind of my favorite because of how well they did pets in this game compared to other ARPGs, especially in comparison to D3. Yeah, it's always nice to like go with what you normally play with so that you can familiarize yourself with the game, and then just start playing other things to see whether or not you have either better options or more interesting options to play around with afterwards. With the necromancer, there's a skill, I can't remember what it's called, but it gives you damage absorption and reflects the damage taken or the damage absorbed from an enemy's attack back at them. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, that's a good idea. That sounds fun to play around with. And then when I eventually got to an Arcanist class, I ended up looking at Maven's Sphere of Protection, which is a skill that gives you 100% damage absorption for, I think it's like 3 seconds or something. And I thought that both of those, like if you use them in combination with each other, would end up being like an insane retaliation build. And I have yet to actually get one to work yet. I didn't put too much time into actually trying it and testing it, but I still want to eventually. This is trash. Pants that I can use, pants that are not garbage. I need those. Although, we'll take it, but I'm not going to be able to use it for a long time. Don't need that. Although the Aether Resist could be useful.
Put it to good use. You see anything you like?
And then could turn this quest in. Turn this quest into this guy. Yep. Almost a whole level. Go to here. Turn this quest in. Max that out. Put one into this. Terrible. Go to that. There we go. The beginnings of the end of this game. It'll be a long time. Next, I need to start. What other quest can I turn in immediately? I need to go get the dude that I need to save. He's around here somewhere. Can get Isaac's stash. So another thing about the current challenge that I'm doing is that it's done in what is called the Grim League mod. So essentially, the game is basically the same, besides the added content that they have here and all the way up here. But some of the things that they changed that make this challenge particularly more difficult than it would normally be if you were to try it in the vanilla game is that every time you touch a chest, or basically any lootable item that's not destructible, like these scrap piles, have a chance to spawn a handful of ghosts from an ambush. Yeah. This game is absolutely massive. Compared to most ARPGs that I know.
Skill's not ready.
So the reason why you hear me say I don't want to touch that chest, or I like yell at myself for almost touching a chest all the time, it's because the ghost ambushes really just screw you over in this game. And it's something that you would never have to worry about if you were to play the League mod normally, like go through normal mode and just level up how you're intended to in the original game. One of the funnest and easiest ways to feel like you can actually make progress is by just fully dumping points into a single skill so that you could just walk through the game for a while so that you understand like where to go and how to actually basically how to farm. And then after you get one of your skills to a really decent level, then you can just basically fiddle around with whatever you want to use after that. Because then you don't have to worry about like, oh, is this going to be powerful enough to be able to handle what's going on? You just have something that you can rely on as a backup, and then play around with other skills